least 5 years. When my lawyer calmly explained, again, that she wasn't entitled to any of that, Kathy lost it. She started yelling about how she had sacrificed everything for me and how I was leaving her with nothing. I sat there, trying to stay calm, but inside I was fuming. She was the one who cheated. She was the one who wanted the divorce. And now she's acting like I'm the one ruining her life? It's unbelievable. After that session, it became clear that this divorce is heading for court, whether I like it or not. On top of that, Kathy's been borrowing money from her family and friends to cover her legal fees. She clearly didn't expect the divorce to drag on this long, and now she's running out of funds. I'm not exactly sure how she plans to keep paying her aggressive lawyer, but that's not my problem. The more desperate she gets, the more erratic her behavior becomes. Mutual friends have told me she's been spending most of her time at home, venting to anyone who will listen about how I've ruined her life. It's gotten so bad that some of her friends have started distancing themselves from her. They're tired of the drama and her constant playing of the victim card. It seems like everything Kathy thought she was going to get out of this divorce is slipping through her fingers. Through all of this, I've been doing my best to stay calm and handle things strategically. Every time Kathy makes a new accusation or demand, I counter it with evidence. Every financial document they request, I provide, because I have nothing to hide. My lawyer has been great about making sure we're following the law to the letter, which is more than I can say for Kathy's team. I've also been working to protect my parents' privacy. Kathy's attempts to drag them into this mess are infuriating, but fortunately, there are legal protections in place to keep her from accessing their financial records. Still, the fact that she's even trying shows just how desperate she is. It's like she thinks if she digs deep enough, she'll find some hidden treasure that I've been keeping from her. But there's nothing to find. Update 3, the day of the court hearing finally arrived, and to say the tension was high would be an understatement. Kathy was the first to testify, and she came out swinging. She made it clear that she believed I had been hiding assets from her all along. She accused me of manipulating our finances, hiding money in secret accounts, and lying to her about how much we really had. She was emotional, painting herself as the victim who had been left with nothing after sacrificing her career to support mine. She was sobbing on the stand at one point, talking about how she had trusted me with everything, only to be blindsided by the divorce and my supposed financial trickery. But then came the real kicker, when my lawyer presented evidence of her affair with Derek. As soon as the texts, pictures, and details of her relationship with him came out, the jury, the judge, everyone could see what was really going on. Kathy's victim narrative started to crumble right before my eyes. At one point, she even tried to downplay the affair, saying it was just a mistake and that it had nothing to do with the divorce. But by then, the damage was done. Her credibility was shot, and it was clear that her financial demands were driven more by greed than anything else. When it was my turn to testify, I made sure to stay calm and stick to the facts. My lawyer had prepped me well, and I knew that getting emotional or defensive wouldn't help my case. I went over everything, how my assets had been structured in my father's name for years, how I had provided full financial disclosures, and how I had tried to handle the divorce amicably through mediation. I also testified about Kathy's threats, her erratic behavior, and the smear campaign she had been running. My lawyer presented documentation of all the accusations she had thrown at me, both publicly and in court, and showed how baseless they were. We laid out the truth about our finances. The house belonged to my father, our savings were modest at best, and there was no secret stash of money that she could lay claim to. The judge seemed to appreciate my straightforwardness. I didn't try to vilify Kathy, but I didn't sugarcoat the reality of what had happened either. The facts were clear, and I made sure to present them without drama or exaggeration. A few key witnesses were called during the trial, and their testimonies helped seal the deal. First, my father took the stand. He explained the financial arrangement we had put in place years ago, how the house was in his name, how the investments were under his control, and how all of this was done as a form of long-term financial protection. He made it clear that these assets were his, not mine, and that Kathy had no legal right to them. Next up was one of my colleagues from work. Kathy's team had tried to argue that I had been hiding money by receiving under-the-table payments or bonuses, but my colleague shut that down quickly. He testified about my modest income and my regular, transparent salary. There were no secret bonuses, no hidden sources of income, just the straightforward paycheck that I had disclosed. These witnesses were crucial in showing that Kathy's accusations were baseless. The judge could see that there was no grand conspiracy on my part, just a simple, transparent financial arrangement that Kathy had never bothered to understand. After days of testimony and legal arguments, the judge finally delivered the verdict. It was a huge relief to hear the words, "The divorce would be granted in my favor." Kathy's demands for half of the house and our savings were denied outright. The judge ruled that because the house and most of our assets were in my father's name, Kathy had no claim to them. The only thing she was awarded was a minimal amount of alimony, and even that was for a short duration, barely enough to cover her legal fees, let alone the lifestyle she was hoping to maintain. The judge made it clear that Kathy's affair and her lack of contribution to the household finances played a role in his decision. He saw through her attempts to paint herself as a victim and ruled accordingly. As the decision was read out, I felt a massive weight lift off my shoulders. The months of stress, the constant accusations, the fear of losing everything, all of it melted away in that moment. I knew that, legally, I was in the clear. Kathy, on the other hand, didn't take the verdict well. As soon as the judge finished, she burst into tears, shouting that the system was unfair and that I had cheated her out of what was rightfully hers. She stormed out of the courtroom, leaving her lawyer looking exasperated. I'm not sure what she expected, but it was clear that she hadn't prepared herself for the possibility of losing. For me, the immediate feeling was one of relief. I thanked my lawyer, who had done a good job throughout the whole process, and headed out of the courthouse. My phone was buzzing with texts from friends and family, congratulating me on the outcome. Word had spread quickly, and the local community was already talking about the case. It felt good to know that the truth had come out, and that I could finally move on with my life. But Kathy wasn't done. Outside the courthouse, she had a full-blown meltdown in front of a small crowd. She started screaming about how I had lied and manipulated the system, and how she was going to appeal the decision. The problem is, she doesn't have the money to do that. Her lawyer made it clear during the proceedings that she was running out of funds, and from what I've heard, she's still borrowing money from family and friends just to get by. That being said, I'm incredibly grateful for my father's advice and foresight when it came to protecting my finances. Without his help, who knows what kind of mess I'd be in right now. I'm also thankful for the support of my friends, family, and colleagues, who stuck by me even when Kathy was spreading rumors and trying to destroy my reputation. Looking forward, I'm hopeful. I know it's going to take time to fully recover from this, both emotionally and financially, but I'm ready to move on with my life. I've learned some valuable lessons from all of this, and I won't be making the same mistakes again. For now, I'm just focusing on getting back to a sense of normalcy and enjoying the peace that comes with having this chapter finally closed.